What? What? You blink, your eyelashes fluttering. That heavy breathing is not me. You don't know where you are or even who you are, and the room is dark. No matter how you strain your eyes, you cannot make out any details. It's cold and quiet here, saved for the panic sounds of your own breathing. For all you know, you could be the only person alive in the whole world. The world itself seems to have compressed as of late. It's small, shrunken down, no bigger than the size of a walnut. You are trapped inside, all on your own. Or are you? The longer you sit there or stand there, lie there, you cannot tell. The warmer your inert body becomes. Your fingers twitch. Ah, yes, you have fingers. You remember now. For a short while, though it felt like much, much longer, you had quite forgotten. You have fingers you can use to touch, a nose you can use to smell, and ears you can use to hear. Arms and legs and a head. You are a person after all. It's fortunate that you remembered. You are beginning to doubt the nature of your own existence, lost amidst the ether of non-being. For all you knew, you could have been a cat, a dog, or an amoeba at the bottom of the ocean. You are not any of those things. You have remembered that you are a living creature, a human being, to be more precise, and that has given you the right to live. It is a right afforded only to a precious few. You should cherish the life you have. You understand that now. If only your surroundings would become clearer, then you might be able to plan an escape route. You know that you can't stay here. It isn't safe. Robbed of your sight, your sense of hearing is more acute than ever before. The sound of silence weighs heavily upon you, broken only by your own heart beating. Yes, it is beating. You take comfort in that fact. That organ pumping away inside your chest is proof that you are alive. You exist. You do. How else will you test your existence? You open your mouth, forming shapes, all of the vowel letters, A, E, I, O, U. No sound comes out. Why should it? There is nobody here to talk to in this dark and desolate void, though it would be nice if there was. Ah. All of a sudden you hear it, off in the distance. Perhaps it isn't so distant. It's a low, crackling sound. Fire, perhaps. And just above that, a dull tick-tock, tick-tock. A clock, then, and the chink of china and the flipping of pages. The scent of peppermint tea and dust. Decades upon decades of dust. The cold, empty environment has spawned life, as though from your own desperate desire for company. Does that make you the center of the universe? You are not alone anymore. But you still cannot see a thing. You might as well be blind. You do not know if you're relieved or not by these sounds. They are cozy, yes, and should be familiar, but you are not sure where you might have heard them before. Maybe from another life, a past life. You swallow, your throat feels dry. But curiosity propels you onwards. You take a slow and unsteady step forwards. The floorboards, it's a wooden floor, creak beneath your weight. Excuse me? Excuse me? Excuse me? Unfamiliar voice falls from your lips. It's a voice you have not heard before. You recognize it only by the virtue of the fact it speaks when you manipulate your mouth, your tongue pushed against your teeth. Your voice echoes throughout the darkened room. Dozens upon dozens of excuse me's repeat, circling about you like dust motes. The flipping of pages pauses. Still, the unseen fire continues to crackle. Somebody is looking for you. You can tell they are looking at you despite the thick darkness that envelops you. You shiver. Strain your eyes. Perhaps you can make out a few details here and there. The wooden floor, a rocking chair, a figure sitting upon it, a dusty old tomb in their lap. A girl? Oh my! It's been such a long while since I've had a visitor. She sighs softly. Is that a good thing? Okay, let's see if we can turn... Okay, well, let me turn the music down, because it's really super loud. Okay, I turned my sound down on my laptop, so I don't know if that's going to help or not. Oops! I don't think I can go backwards without starting over. Okay. How can she even read these books in the gloom? But this reality seems to operate differently from the one you came from. It's probably better not to ask these things. Otherwise, the whole world might fall apart. My name is Lycoris. May I inquire as to your title? Your title? She wants to know your name? That is an awfully good question, but you do not remember it yourself? Your brain strains as you try to pluck the first word that you can think of from the air. What is your name? Gramma Meayumi, is it? Lycoris nods her head. You can see it shifting slightly in the gloom. Well, Gramma Meayumi, do you know where you are? You shake your head. You have no idea. You just happened to wake up here. That is quite natural. Most of my guests are wanderers, travelers, if you will, who find themselves here for want of anywhere else to go. I am not overly fond of fancy names, so I suppose you could call this my library. You glance about. So it is a library after all. You did wonder. This library is filled with books from all over the world, including some which have not yet been written and some that need a helping hand. What does she mean? It is difficult to explain, but stories are not born from nothing, you know? Now, seeing that you are here and I am here and there is little else to do, would you care to help me? You don't understand. How could you be of any help to her? There is a story in here that has been in a state of flux for quite some time. It is about a traveler, much like yourself, who... But Lycoris pauses. She frowns. I am getting ahead of myself. I apologize. In any event, would you like to listen to the story with me? You are curious. What kind of story is it? It is very important to me. I feel it is connected to my identity somehow, yet it rejects me. It shifts like sand when I try to peruse it, and the words do not stay in the correct order. Such a thing may not be possible in the world you came from, but this universe can be rather unfair. When we want things the most, they slip between our fingers. If you were with me, however, perhaps I would finally be able to reach the real ending of this story. What is so important about you? You don't understand. I do not know, but I feel as though we have a connection. You feel it too, don't you? This story is special to me, but I feel as though it may be special to you too. You press one hand against your chest. Your heart flutters like the wings of a butterfly. She might be right. In fact, you are sure she is. Why else does your heart pound when she speaks to you? So what do you say? There is nothing to say. You find yourself nodding in dumb agreement. This woman, whoever she is, takes your breath away. Perfect! Now why don't you take a seat, my esteemed guest? You discover to your surprise that you are sitting in an armchair. When did that happen? This is a very curious library indeed. Let us begin. We shall dive into this story together. We have all the time in the world. Read the story.